What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of The Lion's Den. My name is Jack, and I am joined today with my frequent co-host, friend, and brother, and fellow creator of Nerds, JesseTiv. How you doing?
Dude, I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, dude. Totally not the second time recording because of issues like life hating everything that I do. But yeah, it's totally first time I've ever done this. What is Fortnite? I don't know. You're about to find out. Anyways, as I have alluded to, today we're going to be talking about the popular, and to some people who are not that very bright, maybe controversial, Fortnite's new Battle Royale free-to-play game mode. So, the first thing I'm going to say is that the game is very fun. We've been playing it now for a couple of days. It's already had a patch, they're already outlining new content, and so far the game has just been very fun and very engaging, for sure.
Oh yeah, I agree with that 100%. I think it's a good blend of the two other very popular Battle Royale games, as in H1Z1 and Pubg. And I think it kind of takes the best of both worlds, and I'm really enjoying the game. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I think one of the biggest things that I like about it so far is that the art style, combined with it being very optimized, it runs very well. When I'm playing it, and I've noticed over the last couple of days, just playing solos and occasionally playing squads with your boy Jesse, is that
100%.
The game feels very comfortable and very familiar to me, even though it's my first time playing it. And a lot of it's because the art style reminds me a bit of like Team Fortress 2. It's kind of got that cartoony color palette to it. And then like stuff like the damage indicators being like your specific damage done. It's just all that kind of like gives me that familiar feeling that I'm very used to. So like when I got in, I was noticing I was already playing, I was doing a lot better in this game than I have in any other like BR game so far. And it's been really interesting to see, for sure.
Yeah, I think it's super accessible. I think anybody who's played FPS games before will be really comfortable with this game. I think the color scheme and the overall art style makes the game like welcoming, and players are easy to see, and you don't die from people you can't see from 1,000 miles away so far that I've seen. The game just feels really good, man.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's a really good example of like its simplicity, but not to the point that it doesn't feel like there's not enough content. Like, you know, there's a really good middle ground between H1Z1's compromise on weapons and PUBG's compromise on weapons, where we have varying weapon tiers. Weapons will drop at rarer qualities depending on where you get them or how lucky you are. And you may not have the accessibility to change all the attachments like in PUBG, but you also get a fair amount more than just the static 5 guns that are in H1Z1. And even though there are objectively better versions of the base weapons in the game, you don't necessarily feel like you're at a disadvantage if you say you come across a guy with like a high tier purple AR and you just have like a standard AR, right? And I think that's a really fair system, because you'll get into the late game and you'll be very likely to stumble upon, you know, like some gear that may be better than yours. You're never really at a point, I've found after playing a lot of matches, where you're like, I'm totally done, I don't need anything else. Especially because like health items are super rare and like shields are super rare. I think that's really nice, because I feel like, you know, in H1Z1, that's like the biggest problem, is that like you loot 2 or 3 buildings and you're done, you're good, you have everything you need, and you can craft anything else that you need. And you know, in PUBG, you get to a very similar place. You end up with a ton of meds and a ton of boosts, and like you'll find most of your attachments right away. But I feel like in Fortnite, especially when you get into the late game, you'll either be running low on ammo, you won't have meds, and you won't have shields. So those are 3 valuable things that you'll be finding either off of players or off of some lucky last chance loot spawns, which is really nice.
Yeah, I agree. I think the looting mechanic is like perfect. Like you're not going to be not looting. You're going to be looting the whole game, 100%.
Yep.
You're not going to have enough ammo. You can't just spam from across the map over and over again, because you're going to run out of ammo. You're going to have to kill people to get ammo or loot a lot of buildings. So camping's not really promoted. And I think also the buildables are like a really creative, fun way to move around the map and to get to high spots.
Yeah, I guess just to explain it is that, you know, it's kind of funny because PUBG is still trying to implement destruction, and then this game comes out. It is important to note that the Sandbox of Fortnite has been out for I think like a year or so as like this co-op game, so it does have a big leg up on a game like PUBG in terms of its actual development, but there's every single building can be torn down to the base if you take the time to do it. You also have the ability with your resources to build anything. You can scale mountains. You can build yourself a little bridge across the sky if you really want to get shot out of the air. You can build yourself a little hut in the final circle. And I was really worried when I saw that it was, oh, okay, we're going to get to the late game and it's going to be really campy. Everyone's going to have sniper towers everywhere. But in reality, it may cost you some ammo, but that's the only thing that's really holding you back from knocking some dude out of his perch. Like, especially because the materials all lead up to metal are relatively frail. I found that, you know, for the most part, brick will take like 10 bullets to knock down a wall, and metal maybe like 15 to 20. I mean, I don't have exact numbers on that, unfortunately, but it's not like you'll just sit there and waste all your ammo trying to kill some dude out of his spot, right? And especially because there are rocket launchers and grenade launchers, and those will decimate you. I've lost now, I think, 3 different times in the final circle because I put up a little hut and some dude just blasted me out of there. Like, it was ridiculous. So the buildables, again, this is the whole thing comes back to it. The system's really simple, but it's also very fair, and I really like that about this game.
Yeah, I think what you're getting into here is just the straight up word accessible. I think the game is very accessible. It's super easy to learn. All of the things are fairly well balanced. The game's easy to play, and I think it's really fun. And I do really think that it is the best amalgamation of the 2 most popular battle royale games, is H1Z1 and PUBG. It's like top 4 4. I think it takes the best of both of those games and puts them into one game. I don't know if I'm ready to say it's better than PUBG, but I do think it is more fun to play than PUBG.
Yeah, I think given the choice, probably more often than not, I would sit down and play a solo game of this rather than PUBG. Not even, like, if nothing else, for the fact that I know that I can play this game and not have to worry about other people lagging or like buggy hitboxes or some kind of like weird server lag. Like PUBG, you know, PUBG is like so popular and so at the forefront of gaming as a whole right now. I think people know that there are a lot of endemic issues, and people are kind of overlooking that because, you know, for a while PUBG was just a straight up better option still than H1Z1. But I think people are going to look at Fortnite and see now that there's this viable third party that you don't have to pay $30 for and doesn't have those endemic issues that PUBG still has. I mean, when I think about like the ceiling of the 2 games, I would have to say that I think PUBG has the potential to do more, but I think as far as what's good right now, I would definitely be playing Fortnite more than PUBG.
Oh yeah, I agree. And I mean, just by the simple reason that I have a mediocre computer and Fortnite runs great for me, and I have to wait 15 minutes for the buildings to spawn in at PUBG. So I don't think all games should have to have a tier 1 PC to be ran on. I understand some games do, and that's the way it is, but I'd much rather play Fortnite just because I know that I'm going to get quality running game and an enjoyable game.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's also, like, I think many people who could like step back from like battle royale like exploding as it has and look at the whole thing objectively, there's very few battle royale games. I think we all knew that there were going to be more options eventually, and probably free-to-play options, and now the first free-to-play option to come out has come out swinging really hard and brought forward a really great product. I think that's great for battle royale as a whole because it's showing that you don't need to go way over the top and have like the best graphics or like the most complicated mechanics to sell a battle royale game. You can sell it on just a really good sandbox alone and let the game be what it is. And also what I think is going to drive this game really well is that the developer interactions are very good. We've talked about it many times before about other games, especially like Paladins is another really great example of this. The developer interactions so far with Fortnite have been fantastic. You know, the game only came out, what, like 3-4 days ago as recording this, and there's already been a 1.2 gig patch for the game, fixing the first thing people complained about, which was that weapons had a ridiculous inaccuracy for the most part. They patched it, changed the assault rifles, made them way more accurate, made the game play way better within a day and a half of it being out. And they already said, hey, there's new content coming next week, there's new content coming the week after that. They've already laid out this groundwork to just start rolling out new stuff for the game already, and the game's only been out to everyone for a couple days. That's ridiculous, and that's great.
Yeah, I think the developer interaction's pretty incredible, not to mention the fact that they won the race to the console. I mean, they're the first Battle Royale game to come to console, right?
Yeah, as far as I know.
Yeah, so to win the race between H1Z1 and PUBG, who have both said in the past that we have a console version, it's just not ready yet. We have a disc, it's where people are testing it, Like, how come the game's not there? We're talking about first day release, PC and console both, and people are not having problems running the game on console, which is a big deal because that's a big market that H1Z1 and PUBG are missing out on.
Yeah, for sure. I think all the console players out there have been looking at this BR explosion over the last couple months and been like, okay, when do we get ours? And PUBG has teased their console version a lot, and I'm just gonna say it right now. If I can spend, like $1,000 or more on my system, which is about what I put into it, I have really good parts. I have a decent, mid-tier PC, and the fact that I struggle to run PUBG as much as I do, like I've even had to go out and buy an SSD because like my current hard drive couldn't handle it. There is absolutely no way the current generation of consoles, even like the Xbox One X or the PS4 Pro, I can't see those games running PUBG in any stable form. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah. It's going to be some kind of mediocre like 40-player version or something like that with a smaller map and just major compromises to the game.
Yeah, for sure. There's no way. And even then, with how badly optimized PUBG is, they would have to go as far as I think to just start over with the game on a new engine, because the way that they've designed their version of the Unreal 4 is just it's not good on even a lot of high tier PCs. Even like these streamers with like top tier systems don't get to 300 frames. They have lag every now and then too. Like the game is just in a horrible state of optimization. So Fortnite offers this just amazing alternative. Again, the primary word being accessible. We were watching our brother Justin play Fortnite on the PS4, and it was 30 FPS, but that's mostly the standard on a lot of console games, and it was running it stably, and it was 100% BR. Like, that's fantastic, and just the fact that you got there first is unbelievable. Like, just a major punch in the gut to PUBG. On top of which, and I think we're going to talk about this for a little bit, this comes right after that stupid controversy that the PUBG developers tried to start up with because of Fortnite releasing their battle royale game mode, which is just this whole situation is so stupid. Jess, you want to talk about it for a minute?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this controversy. The whole controversy is that PUBG is licensed for the Unreal 4 engine, which is what Fortnite is running off, and it's made by the developers of Unreal Engine. And the fact that they are comparing the two games and saying that Fortnite is like PUBG is kind of ridiculous to me. The games are nowhere near similar at all. The only thing that is similar about them is that they are battle royale games, but art style, gun style, the way the game is played, the map, none of that stuff is even close to similar. It doesn't make any sense to me that these are baseless, in my opinion.
Oh, totally. And frankly, I would, if I was sitting there and I was the developers of Fortnite, and if, I was Epic Games, who gladly licensed the majority of the assets for the Unreal Engine to PUBG, kind of on a crapshoot, because who knows if PUBG would have been successful. I would look at that and be like, what the hell are you guys doing? Like, even in the release statement for Fortnite announcing this, they were like, hey, we really love PUBG. PUBG's one of our favorite games to play at the office. So we looked at the Sandbox for our game and we're like, we're going to try and make one too. Like, they were praising PUBG in their announcement as an inspiration. Like, if I was the PUBG developers, I would be flattered by that, because that shows that you've reached a level of success that you're inspiring people to follow suit and try their hand at it too. And ultimately, competition breeds success for everyone, because there are going to be people who try Fortnite and don't like it, and maybe that reaffirms why they want to purchase PUBG, or maybe that reaffirms why they go back to PUBG. Like, it's beneficial always for there to be competitors out there. And for PUBG to say this is almost like, it would be like Valve calling out Call of Duty for ripping off Counter-Strike for having a search and destroy mode. Because it looks right. Similar, right? Oh, they both shoot guns and plant bombs. It must be the same. Like, dude, I hate to break it to you, Bluehole, but PUBG didn't invent Battle Royale. Like, it's been around for a while.
That comment that they said that Player Unknown is the one who created Battle Royale just makes no sense to me. I can't see that.
Yeah, it was totally stupid. I feel bad for the PR team at Bluehole because, you know, someone clearly let something through that wasn't supposed to go through. Or someone just went over their heads entirely, because I would imagine they were sitting there reading that like, oh my god, this is not good. This is not good. And, you know, I think the internet responded in kind, and, you know, Bluehole got just destroyed over the last couple of days over this. Rightly so, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I just don't see how you could even make that comment, let alone the fact that they're letting you run their game, run your game on their engine, and you're over here just making comments that make no sense. So, to get back to Fortnite, I think it's a great game. I think the problems surrounding it are baseless. I think you should give it a try because it's free to play, it runs great, and it's an enjoyable game. Not to mention it's on console as well. I think it won the war to get to console, and I think Fortnite has a chance to be a really, really popular game.
Yeah, for sure. You know, you spawn in for the most part, and you can get a gun very fast. The gunplay is very simple to understand. You know, I think the only thing is that there's not a whole lot of information available in-game about what the different qualities do. And as far as we know right now, the higher quality weapons have like a slightly better damage fall off or like better recoil recovery. But like some of the stuff in the looting isn't really specified. But all that, you know, just comes with the game being out. It's only been out a couple days, so a lot of stuff will come along. So any of the issues that I could level at it right now, I think can ultimately be chalked up to it's just early on in its lifespan right now. Right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So I mean, overall, I think it's probably going to. I don't know if it could dethrone PUBG simply because it's a non-Steam game, so you're gonna lose a lot of your audience that way to people who don't want to download another launcher. Like if it was a Steam launch, I'm not gonna lie, I think this game would be topping Steam charts for sure, and I think it is topping player charts already. I mean, I think the first day they had 1 million downloads, so they probably are, and we just don't see it. But obviously, Steam's a great market for that kind of thing. But I don't know if it could topple PUBG, but it's definitely gonna be sitting there and taking shots at that throne all day for sure.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I have nothing else to say. I think the game's great. I think you can wrap us up here.
All right. Well, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to Nerds Morass for more amazing content. Everyone's putting out content as much as they can. Andrew's doing great. JesseTiv's getting back to it. And of course, I'm trying to put out videos as often as I can with my schedule. And if you guys want to see more of me, you can check me out on my personal channel. I don't post there often, but maybe I will pretty soon. The same thing, you can check out JesseTiv's personal channel. You can follow us all on Twitter. And if you guys want to check out Fortnite, I'll leave a link to Epic Games and the Fortnite website down in the links down below. Other than that, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time.
Later.